up, possibly trade down, let the Knicks give up the number 3 pick. You get at number 3 so you could draft R.J. Barrett and pair him with his Duke teammate Zion Williamson. You could do it that way. You could do it that way. We don't know what's going to happen right now. And that's what makes tonight's draft, NBA draft, very, very intriguing. There is no question about that. The Lakers had the number 4 overall pick. They forfeited that to the New Orleans Pelicans in the Anthony Davis trade that still has not been consummated, actually. Because you got some things to work out that even might call for Anthony Davis to surrender that trade kicker. I doubt that it'll come to that. We don't know. But at least for the moment in time, the Lakers are still trying to make moves. And if you're Rob Pelinka, obviously you're on the hot seat. Because if you don't have enough money, and there's something wrong with this trade which can't be finalized until July 6th, then you have a situation where if you are Rob Pelinka and the Los Angeles Lakers, who, by the way, don't have a capologist, from what I'm told. I think I was speaking with Brian Windhorst earlier today. He said they don't have a capologist. So you didn't have somebody who's an expert on the cap, an expert on the nuances that come along with it. And as a result, you may have screwed up this Anthony Davis trade to some degree. Even though it may still go through, you still got more moves that need to be made in order for it to be fully consummated. And boy, if that's the reality of the situation come July 5th, is Rob Pelinka, the general manager for the Los Angeles Lakers, going to take some heat. But back to the New York Knicks. I have a very, very interesting question for Knicks fans everywhere. And it's just a question, because I will be I will be very, very candid with you in telling you I'm not sure I know the answer to this question. If you're the New York Knicks, look at me when I'm talking to you, John. Look at me when I'm talking to you, Nuno. If you are the New York Knicks, do you keep the number 3 pick and draft R.J. Barrett? Do you keep the number 3 pick? You did work out Darius Garland. You did work out Kobe. You called Kobe White from North Carolina back for a workout. There's still DeAndre Hunter out of the national champion Virginia Cavaliers. You could grab him too, even though you don't need him as much. The bottom line is, do you keep the number 3 pick and draft one of those players? Or do you trade down? What do you do if you're the New York Knicks? That's a legitimate question, because there's a whole bunch of people that want that pick, because there's a whole bunch of people that want to move up in the draft. That's what we're talking about here. We're talking about the Cleveland Cavaliers with the 5th overall pick. From what I'm told, they'd love to get their hands on Hunter. They'd love to move up so they can ensure that they'd get Hunter. But right now, he's expected to be gone, and you never know whether or not Garland's going to fall at 4th or 5th. Okay? So that's something to consider. You got the Phoenix Suns with the 6th pick. Jarrett Culver's on their list, along with others. Kobe White could fall to Chicago at number 7. Cam Reddish, out of Duke himself, who I believe vastly underachieved this year. Got skills. 6'8", can shoot, can ball. I got questions about his motor. Atlanta Hawks supposedly are looking at him. So I'm just looking at all of these guys, and I've got these question marks. And I got to tell you something right now. You had some people that were texting me and talking to me. I had Darius Garland on First Take this morning. And they were asking, why ask about so many questions about his durability? Because he played in just 5 games. That's why. The man played 5 games as a freshman at Vanderbilt. Played against teams like Winthrop. No pun intended, Jonathan Winthrop. Winthrop and Liberty. I mean, I think the kid can ball. But we haven't seen much of him. Meniscus tear in his left knee. I'm not worried about him. They say he's 100% healthy. I have no doubt that he is. I wish the kid nothing but the best. I know he can ball. But I am going to ask you questions about your durability if you play only 5 games in college and there's 82 games wait for you in an NBA regular season? I'm just going to ask. And in fairness to him, let's be very, very clear. It was one injury. No consecutive history of injuries. One could argue it's more an unfortunate incident than durability questioning. That's what somebody wrote to me. I'm reading that verbatim. But what I'm saying to you is they're absolutely right. That's all it could be. Doesn't mean it doesn't warrant the question. Doesn't mean that you can't ask the question. Doesn't mean that you can't be a little bit specific or suspicious. Cam Reddish, he wasn't injured. I got real big time questions about his motor. I got questions about a guy that didn't seem to be that focused, that locked in, that hell-bent and committed on making noise when Zion Williamson went down for those 5 or 6 games after busting his sneaker wide open, slipping in the first opening seconds at Duke against North Carolina while former President number 44, Barack Obama, was in attendance. I got a problem with that. I got a problem with the fact that I didn't see him, Cam Reddish, just step up and take the bull by the horn. But I do give him credit for this. When he showed up on First Take earlier this week, I did take the liberty of asking him, what's up with that, bro? I mean, where was that motor? Where was that want it that I'm looking to see from a cat in college starving to go pro? What the hell was going on? And Cam Reddish did say, man, I didn't eat right, man. Pizza and junk food and stuff like that before games. Ate a lot of that in college. Okay. You know what? I'm going to give him a pass on that. Look, I'm 51 years old and I don't eat right. How the hell am I going to talk about a kid not eating right? Especially looking as athletic as he looks. I understand. Then again, I'm not trying to go pro. I'm not trying to be as impressive as I can possibly be while choosing to do that stuff, knowing I'm going to be a first-round pick coming out of Duke because I'm playing for a program competing for a national title. I'm going to be ready. But again, Cam Reddish is a kid. It's like all of these guys are. And I'm going to cut him some slack. I like Darius Garland. If I'm the Knicks, I'd strongly consider taking him number 3 overall. But I also like R.J. Barrett. I don't like the fact that he came in front of my face talking about how I got a secret for you. I got a surprise. I am right-handed. Well, damn it, that don't matter to me. I ain't see you use it. I need to see you use that right hand. I need to see you exhibit some ambidextrous skills. That's what I need to see. And the fact of the matter is, that's not what R.J. Barrett showed us in his first year in college, his only year in college. But he still averaged 22 a game. He was still silky smooth. He was still a hell of a player. The pressure doesn't faze him one bit. The big moments are not something he shies away from. And God knows the Garden needs that. The Garden needs that. 888-SAY-ESPN. It's 888-729-3776. That is the number to call into the Stephen A. Smith Show right here on ESPN Radio and ESPN News. Having said all of that, let me tell you what else the Garden needs, as in Madison Square Garden. The Garden needs Kevin Durant. Now, to be fair and accurate, Kevin Durant ain't going to be playing next year, in all likelihood. Kevin Durant